Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
Huh, James?
No, Ruben, you need to calm down. Go ahead.
Are you not wearing a bra today?
Yeah, I'm going to let my danglers out till you get me a job.
Whoa.
A boob job.
Not a prayer, sister.
Danglers will be dangling. And why do you
No,
say that?
not a prayer.
Oh, because you saw some nip?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, you
Well,
you
it's when
can't
I'm wearing,
blast
like, a-
nip on YouTube like that.
I'm
Come
not.
on,
You can't
James.
see it. You can't see it. And
All
I have
right.
jacket.
Yeah, and I have jacket. She went full Britney Spears conservatorship there, and I have jacket.
And I have
jacket.
And I should be in charge of my jacket.
Yeah, wow.
Because I'm 5.
She's going back, by the way. She's going in front of the court for the first time ever.
I'm not fucking. I have not been interested in that whole case this entire time.
I just want to
Not for
see her
1 second.
speak in public without a team full of people there.
You're not going to see her.
I think you might. I think you might, actually. I think she's going to do it and just, I'm tired of this stuff and
Well, they're
this
talking
stuff.
about an Oprah interview.
Oh, no. You know who else is talking
And look,
about one?
it's not that she's not going to have conservatorship. Like, I can't talk about this anymore. But it's not that she's not going to have conservatorship. It's just not going to be her dad.
Okay.
So there's
All right.
still going to be someone in charge that probably won't let her talk in public.
Will it be Charles?
Charles?
Yeah, is he going to be in charge?
Oh,
Too
my
soon,
God.
huh? Too soon? No?
Deep cut.
Too soon for that? Or?
I also saw a video of California Dreamin'. Do you remember California Dreamin'?
Oh, yeah.
The show?
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
Don't wake me
No.
up when No?
No, I wasn't a big fan of that.
Oh, I think it was post. You guys.
It was
would
post
know.
Saved by the Bell. No. I know the show.
Okay.
It was post Saved by the Bell, and it
Yeah.
felt like they were trying to.
Leather jacket guy. I don't know. I was in.
It just seemed like they were trying to go to. It felt like the Max. You know, like they took the Max from Saved by the Bell and then
Right.
put it on the beach, and then they had the kids around it, and it was just. It was a jankier version, right? Like Degrassi. I never got down on Degrassi. That just wasn't. It was just second rate to me.
Yeah, I never did either.
No. So I leaned more towards Saved by the Bell and like 90210 and Knots. I never got a Degrassi sitch, but there is people out there that love it, that absolutely love it, Jabes.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you my dream because we don't do that, not only on the show, but just in real life.
No, I won't do it.
No, well, I won't
hear
entertain it either.
Or an acid trip. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Nope. But today was one of those. You have an alarm that's super soothing, if you will.
Yeah.
It's like ding, ding, ding,
Yeah, and
ding,
it starts
ding,
very
ding,
low
ding,
and
ding,
then
ding, ding.
slowly gets.
Slowly builds to this crescendo of "Good morning, everyone. It's time to die today." Like our
Julian Huff. Yeah, good morning.
it sounds like an AI version of how the robots want you to wake up and start your day.
Sure.
Whereas mine is very aggressive violence. I hate it, but I also don't know how to change it. So whatever, that's me, right?
I could do that for you.
Technology. Technology just isn't there for
Yeah, I could do
somebody.
it. It's a quick fix.
For a boy like me.
Just a couple buttons and
a
I
boy
can
like
fix
me.
that for you.
Technology isn't there for a boy like me.
Sure.
And today was one of those days where I hit the the alarm because the child wasn't up yet, and I was like, oh, all right, I'll give this another 20, you know, because I haven't heard him, but I got to start the day and everything else. I went back into a full-on another dream where I was living in another life, and I was all in. I was all in, and then the alarm went off, and I was like, God
you were
damn
living
it.
in another life.
Another
and
life.
You were all in.
Another life, yeah. All in. You were in it, but it was just another life.
Okay.
Yeah. All in, and then that violent alarm wakes you back up, and you were like, man,
Yeah.
I was living in that other world. Would I have continued to stay there? I don't know. I don't know.
Would you have crossed over? Yeah.
Not, yeah, I
maybe.
don't. I felt like I
Maybe.
crossed over
Maybe.
to another universe, and I was like, "Damn it,
Do
man!"
you think that you did actually wake up?
It's a great question,
Sure.
and I often wonder
I know
that.
you do because you're so dumb. That's why I asked you that, because I knew you would be like, maybe I didn't.
Because it feels like you have the same conversations, the same things that are going on, everything else. Not to go down a real deep rabbit hole of like deja vu or anything, but I felt like I was having the same conversations this morning with people. I was like, man, I'm positive this was a word for word conversation. Like, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 days in a row.
Right.
SimWorld has kicked in, and then here we are, right? So maybe, I don't know, Japes.
Right.
Either way, if we are in the sim world, I'm going to make it the best goddamn sim world you've ever been to today.
Absolutely. I need to just make a real quick, not announcement, but I think we should definitely address it.
Sure.
Just because this is not what we do.
What is it? What is it?
So, clear expectations.
Oh, yes. I
really-
chatted with him. I chatted with him, by the way.
Okay, but I think it's important for like, if anyone wants to go give them a good review.
Yeah.
Anyone that put anything
Yeah.
bad
Clear
on
Reflections is the company.
Yeah,
That has been all cleared up, and that's fine. So
Okay,
you're good to
Clear
go.
Expectations was super cool about it. Listened to the show, was like, we would never do that. That was fucked up. So they got about
And
10 bad reviews. If
it was
any
taken
of
care
you
of.
did
Yeah,
that, let's take those down. Maybe throw them a couple good ones because they were super cool about it.
You know what's
Just
funny
saying,
is like
expectations.
we actually have a call with him today. They might actually do the poll, and I was like, dude, you can have 1,000 good reviews if we do this, and that'd be great. But what are the chances that you're just off by
I know,
3
but
letters?
I just don't. I don't know.
100%.
That's not part of like the thing is like
No,
this one
100%,
company, and we
yes.
don't want other people to get caught in the
Yeah.
bullshit.
And I actually chatted with him this morning. So
Okay.
Lovely people. What are the chances though? You know, and they were like, hey, we listen to the show. That's not the thing. And I was like, you know.
And they were actually really like on our side too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
those people sounded like they did not do a good job for
Well,
them.
look, I speaking of
But
like,
whatever, that's
because
all
I've raged about the. I love Austin. Again, we're not moving or anything else like that. We're here for the long haul. But I've raged against the workers here, where it's just like, man, trying to get anybody to do anything handy wise or just manual, just work. Nobody works. To that point, I went into Walmart yesterday and picking up a few things on the way home. It's all robots.
Now look, I actually like that.
But if that's where we're headed,
No, I know, but and Walmart especially, like I do like that because I can actually check out quicker than before.
I agree.
You
yeah,
could
yeah.
never run into Walmart
Yeah.
before, whereas now you can't.
I'm no lie though, because whatever that Walmart is off of 35 over there, Bob. I don't know what. It's right off the 1.
What, 35 and 71?
No, I'm sorry. It's right off the 1 right there. Yeah. It's
what?
a gigantic.
Mopac?
Yes, Mopac
The
Shakur.
Mopac
Get
in
that
290?
California shit out of
Yeah.
here. What are you?
I know. They actually don't say the one or the 290.
You call it Mopac?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like live right there.
Or you say 290, 35. You don't
Yeah.
say the
Whatever, man.
35.
My wife was like that too because she lived in LA and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm just so used." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
It's just in LA. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mopac. So I was over on Mopac Shakur, and I went into that Walmart, which is gigantic. I've never seen a Walmart that size. I was like, oh boy, this is a big one. You've got full groceries and everything, like produce and all
Ross,
of it, right?
is the reason that you believe in aliens, is it because you are one?
Maybe.
I mean, the way you fucking talk about shit sometimes, it's like you just landed on Earth.
It feels like it. By the way, it feels like
The bathtub last night. I mean, I don't know if maybe you were switched and you're like an alien that's trying to pretend that you know all the stuff
it. Sure.
that
Yeah.
old Ross knew,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's insane.
What is insane about the Walmart?
Just it was a huge Walmart. I've never seen. I mean,
I've never seen a Walmart this big in my entire life.
You went to school in the Midwest.
I
Yeah,
know.
how do you
so
not?
that's great. I'm
Confused.
glad you brought that up. We didn't have it, dude. So we had another place in Ohio that was called Myers. Now, Myers was a fucking mega store where I was just like, same thing, where I was like, oh my God. The standard joke was in like Ohio in the Midwest, you could get anything from Myers. Like, you get your fucking oil changed if you were going to prom. I mean, if you were, it's the Myers, the craziest store of all time, where you're just like, oh, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't know why they built any other stores in Ohio other than Meijer or something like that, right? We had a couple Walmarts, but they weren't that sweet. That Walmart was just ginormous that I was in off of Mopac Shakur. I mean, they had all of the things where I was just like, holy shit. Even the bikes, I was like, oh, that's a X Games bike you're now selling at Walmart. When did Walmart start selling shit like that?
You ain't seen shit. Wait, you need to go to it because this is a city, right? You need to go like at Mizzou in Columbia, Missouri. It was like only Walmarts. Like there was no other option or whatever.
That's where you hang out. That's where you drink. That's where you get your hair done, your FedEx. I mean, literally everything.
There's a bank inside.
It's the what?
Oh, yeah. Hey, there was a full bank, you're right, inside this Walmart yesterday. And I was like, what the? I mean, but there was like tellers working. Like everything. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? I mean, they were doing home loans, credits. It's a full bank inside this Walmart. I've never been in something like that.
Well, welcome to the world.
I guess.
Welcome to our planet.
Yeah, I want to say the good one in Columbia had like almost like a food court as well. There was both a McDonald's and a Subway.
There's a fine dining restaurant in there, I think, right? Yeah.
It's not far off. Like it's getting close.
No,
it's getting close.
There was a Maggiano's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So when I was checking out, it was they had wiped out all of the cashiers, all of the lines, everything. It is now just, I asked the guy, I was like, how many of these did you guys do? And they were like,
that's what an alien would ask.
60. So they did 60 self-checkouts, and then just one dude kind of supervises you through 60 checkouts. That's the first time I've ever been in a store where there was no cashiers, clerks, nothing. And I was like,
bro, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Name another store that is like that.
Walmart. Every time
oh my God,
for a
dude.
while.
Oh my God.
For a while.
One other store.
H-E-B.
One other store.
Cheater, H-E-B.
No. Dude, there's an H-E-B next to my house. I go there every time. There's 1 million clerks. 1 million clerks.
And a bunch of self-checkout.
5, 6, like it's not a lot. And nobody uses them. Everybody's in line with the cashiers and everything. I use the self-checkout and I understand it, right? However, I also know that all these people just lost their jobs at Walmart, where 60 people lost their fucking jobs at Walmart, where I'm like, holy shit.
I feel like I was talking about this a long time ago. CVS, you don't go up to the fucking counter anymore. So
where? I did it. I just did it a week ago.
The aliens go to the counter, and then there's a bunch of other self-checkouts that you can go to if you want, if you're in a hurry.
Sure.
But I've been talking about it for a while though.
Right.
I'm being groomed, right?
Yeah.
And the people that are losing their job are actually helping me with the self-checkout. So I've been groomed for a while now, where like the person behind the counter comes around, oh, let me help you with the self-checkout. Home Depot, there's no clerks at Home Depot anymore. It's all the self-checkout. There's maybe one. So I self-checkout at Home Depot. So it's
now that one you're getting close. So
the airport, well, I got a taco, some things, whatever. I was at my own, there wasn't even anyone there, my own cash register thing. So like, I was really raging against it I feel like a long time ago. And I feel like the episode where I'm just like, dude, I'm being groomed everywhere I go by the people that are going to then be out of work, right?
Right.
And I go, do they know it? Are they good with it? Do they not know? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this is so sadistic of like the person that's about to get fired.
That's
showing me how to fire them, right?
Yep.
And so, again, I was raging. I would never go to. I'm like, no, I'm finding a clerk, right? I would walk around the whole place. I'm finding a clerk. I don't work here. And then finally, I'm like, well, I'm in and out. I mean, now I'm groomed. Do you know what I'm saying?
So here's why, like at H-E-B or fuck man, CVS and what's the other goddamn place that's and Walmart, right?
Walgreens?
No, Walmart. So with those three in particular, right? If you're buying booze of any form, just like
Oh yeah, that's
beer,
That's something.
then
that
you've got to
needs
wait for like 20
change.
minutes. Hi, I'm 21.
No,
Can
I
you
know.
swipe my thing? That's why I don't like it. Where I'm like, all right, if I get to fucking wait and flag somebody down,
But
anyways.
that's the last bastion. I think now they're going to be doing like a thing where you can scan your ID or.
Hang on.
I'm sure.
So at CVS, here's the fun thing of why I don't do that either. I'm not fucking alien on this, but if you're buying like I did get you NyQuil the other night, right? And when you swipe it now, that flags as well because you can make some form of meth or something with NyQuil.
Well, that's why I wanted it because I was making my meth. So you shouldn't be so surprised.
Even at what was it? Sam's Club or Costco or one of those places, right? When I was checking out, because those are a lot of those are self-check as well now. Half of those are self-check as well. But if you're buying the packs of NyQuil or Sudafed, all that other shit, they'll flag you, and then you're like, what is this? It's Sudafed. They were like, no, sir, you could be making meth 2 at a time or whatever, and you're just like, what? Because if I can make awesome drugs with just shit that I can buy from Walmart or Costco or whatever, just slide that in the old DM. I mean, that'd be a lot cheaper than a drug deal. But what are you making with those? You know, I need to know what we're making and why this is so dangerous.
Teenager, we tried to get all messed up off NyQuil, and it was weird. But
You did try to do this.
I didn't make anything with it. We literally just chugged a whole thing.
Okay.
Like robo-tripping?
Yeah, robo-tripping.
Yeah. But it wasn't anything that I would choose to do again. Do you know what I mean? It was just one of those kid things where you're like, well, I spin around in a circle for a long time and get hot, get dizzy. That was my last getting high thing. Now let's try something else. Maybe one Coors Light, maybe chug a NyQuil. You're just trying to figure it out. So I would never do it again.
So I flagged Homeboy down to get that beer scanned at fucking, because there's one guy now that works at Walmart, and I flagged him down, and he was just like, sorry, sir, we'll check in the ID 21 or whatever. And I looked at this kid. He was probably 26, 27 years old. And I go, dude, did all of these people just lose their jobs then? And, what happened to them? And he goes, yeah, it was right after Christmas. And they replaced all the machines. They replaced all the cashiers, all that other stuff, and they're gone. And I go, so who is it with you? And he goes, well, it's me. And then there's 2 people if you have to return shit. And then there's a woman at the door. And I'm like, is she the one that's going to stop people from
yeah, exactly.
robbing the joint?
Yeah.
And he just starts laughing and he goes, yeah, I guess. She was about 64 years old.
Sure.
And was only, usually they would look over your things or whatever. Now they're only looking after a big purchase. So if something's hanging out of the cart, they'll be like, great. What's that?
Right.
Can I see that on your receipt? You're good to go, sir. Have a great day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people just lost their jobs. That's terrible. I felt awful about it, but it goes back to what you were saying 2 years ago. Like you were talking about earlier, where, we got groomed for 2 years. They did replace all of these people.
Right.
And now, after yesterday, I was wondering, well, what's next? What do we, what's after that?
Well, now it's your phase, right? So, I was already groomed. Now your phase needs to be groomed. And
Look,
then maybe 90-year-old, I don't know.
No, it's not that. I accepted the grooming and I'm fine with it. If you're able to check out all the stuff, I prefer it and it's faster and I can do it, right? But my question is, when you're nuking that many employees, because now, look, Walmart is obviously ahead of the game and they were able to do it everyone. That's the first time I've seen everyone gone. What's next? What are you really going to need people for in all these little small jobs that you and I used to do as kids, or, I think about working at fucking Papa John's in high school. Why couldn't somebody just be shelling out toppings out of a fucking machine? You know what I'm saying? Making the pizzas and doing it.
Yeah.
What do you need a kid to flop around some pizza for and then do that? To me, it's getting scary to where you're like, what do you do, or what do you say to kids as a job of what's your summertime job?
Domino's has those little carts too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
The
are coming.
Delivery driver.
Yeah.
But those carts are fucking stupid because somebody like rides behind it on a bicycle to make sure it gets there.
Yeah.
So just put it in a fucking
No,
car.
I know. Well, it's the same as somebody helping me self-checkout, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
remember
but
that.
then that all goes away, right? Eventually. We're in grooming stage still.
But I mean,
Yeah.
there will always be assholes, especially in Philadelphia. Remember that hitchhiking robot that was going around the country? And then some asshole in Philadelphia just beheaded that hitchhiking robot.
That is so good.
I say asshole, I mean hero.
Hero,
I know,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, hero.
That kind of sounds
It's like
awesome, but
he literally
Hero.
made it like months around the country, going from spot to spot, and like, people doing their part to help the hitchhiking robot. And then he goes to Philly, and he's dead.
wow. That was his mistake, was going to Philly.
Hammer the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah, if you're in fucking DelCo. Boy, the more and more messages I get about DelCo, Dan, it's amazing you made it out.
It's a real place, yeah.
No, I know it is, but it's amazing you made it out. You know, I feel like you're the hometown hero.
Right. Third generation waterman.
Brad.
Can
Than
you
me.
take DelCo out of the boy, though?
You can.
The,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You gotta,
I
you gotta
don't
leave
know.
early enough.
I don't know.
TBD.
Dan's got a real My Fair Lady thing going on.
TBD, Dan.
Just
We'll
thought-
see if you really can take DelCo out. You don't get to decide, by the way.
Yeah.
Someone else needs to decide.
Exactly. And let's not forget 3 weeks ago he said he had to take money out of crypto to pay a gambling debt. So
That. Right. So
That's-
is DelCo really fully out of you, Dan? I don't know.
Joke's on us. Crypto's down so much, he actually made money taking it out and paying his bookie.
I mean, good for him. But
long
it's
game.
a-
Crypto's a long game. You know. Just don't look at it, Giorgio. You look at it every day. That's
look
the
at it too
problem.
much.
You look at it too much. Just don't look at it.
You're the
Who cares?
problem.
Yeah.
That's why it gets to be like that.
Yeah,
Because
dude.
of people like you that freak out.
That
You
freak
didn't
out.
take it out, did you?
Don't.
Okay, never mind.
Because it went
You can
back up
look at
today.
it.
It went back up today, so you're fine.
Don't
Well,
look
did you
at
need
it.
it? Did you need it tomorrow? Did you need the crypto money? Yeah. So leave it. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? But no. But looking at it, it's not an age thing at all, or accepting it.
I'm not saying it's age.
No,
at all.
or accepting it. It's just scary to think about all of the jobs and things that we had as kids. Now that we have kids, of like, what are you gonna do for the high school job? What do you say? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll all work out.
Maybe. But if you're getting rid of cashiers and all the normal jobs, that's kind of the responsibility of like a 16, 17-year-old, where you're just like, hey, you're counting money, you're helping people out, you're working a job that you got to go to. And what do you, I guess, what are you going to do when you hit that age? Because if we're there now, right? I'm looking at our kid is 7, 10 years. He'll be,
4 years, he'll be getting a job.
Yeah,
what
4
are you
years
saying?
at 11
4
years
years,
old.
he'll be getting a job.
10, whatever it is, right?
10 years, yeah, probably.
What is that job, I guess, is what you start to think about, and you're like, what do you do? And I asked, because we went to our neighbors for a graduation party. He was going to college, and we went over there to Michael and Carrie's house, and it was great. But I was asking, I sat with those kids for a while, because they were asking about podcasts and things like that, and how to make a living and everything else. And I go, just out of curiosity, did none of you at all, like, because your generation came up on YouTube and Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and I go, just out of curiosity, did no one of you guys think to start a YouTube channel and start monetizing yourself and doing all of this shit, right? And it was like a group of like 10, 12 kids, sitting around, and they were like, no, I don't really like this or whatever. And I go, but did somebody, like one person from your high school or somebody that you know? Because I just figured that would be the kind of the future of most of this shit.
I don't think they had jobs.
Who?
The kids that you were talking to.
Correct. Yeah, none of them.
Because
None of them have jobs.
There
So
is sort of a generation of like, we were making kids work, like learn how to work, and then they weren't doing schoolwork, right?
Yeah.
So now there's like a new emphasis on like making sure they just get their fucking school done, do well, get good grades, get into college. I don't know why that's what it is, but that's what it is, right?
right.
And so you don't burden them with other things. It's stuff around the house. So it's like, look, you do all of this shit around the house. You are going to work hard, but it's not going to be anything that's going to detract from your schoolwork.
schoolwork, right? So
So,
hang
I
on.
don't know.
So here was the interesting thing. One of them goes, well, I mean, there was this one girl who did. And I was like, oh, are you guys friends with her or whatever? And they were like, no, she's not at school all that much, And I'm like, okay. And I was like, what does she do? Like, she was like, well, she has a YouTube channel full time. And I was like, okay. I was like, what is it? And they said makeup tutorials. And I go, oh. And I go, well, how much does she make? And the girl goes, I think she made like $1.2 million last year. And I was like, huh? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, because then you make that, and then how do we get them to freaking college after that?
If you're making 1.2 a year,
exactly. How do you get them to college? And all that shit can fucking end in a second.
But 1.2 a year, I don't know that you need college at that point. And I guess that's my point of all of this, right? Is with this creator economy that we're in, and you can create your own jobs and podcasts and YouTube and whatever else, right? In this world, that girl, because I didn't want to break it to him, but I really wanted to say, hey guys, none of you will probably make 1.2 a year, even if you become a brain surgeon or whatever your highest job is in college. Like, you'd have to be a professional athlete at that point. Mm-hmm. Why aren't more of you doing that? That's what seemed foreign to me.
But should most people do that? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. But like,
probably not.
if you see it and it's in your face all day long, I guess that was the assumption. Where again, walking into that arena for Logan Paul versus Mayweather, I was like, oh my god, this was all created off of social media. And you make $1 gajillion. I don't know what else you could do besides that would make that much money if you were to go to college, get a traditional job, and move on with your life.
Yeah.
Case in point, the doc we watched last night, Pank. We watched Pank last night. We watched that Pink documentary.
Yeah.
On, what was it, Amazon Prime? Yes, it was.
Prime. That's why it probably took us a while to watch it, because I don't think it's not new.
I don't know.
It's pre-pandemic.
Well, that's when they were filming, but it takes a while to edit all that documentary footage. So
when did Pank? When did Panks?
Look
come
up
out?
the Pink documentary, Hot Bob. Yeah, Pink, the singer Pink. We're calling her Pank.
Pink, all I know so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Came out a month ago, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not bad.
May 21st.
Not bad. I've got my finger on the pulse.
Yeah, I do at least. But I was flipping around through, because I'm still not used to the Amazon Prime thing as like a real channel yet.
Alien. Yep.
Yeah. No, not Alien.
No, I know. That one's real.
It's because they have this programming that doesn't really have any names. Case in point, before the Pink documentary, that's what led me to the Pink documentary, was there was a show they have just called Prime Day Show. And I was like, what?
Which is just
the
like,
fuck is this?
And it is amazing, but you would never know what it is, right?
Yeah. What are you looking at?
Just
so with this the Prime Day doc, right? There was 3 of them. And it's this show called Prime Day, and it's Kid Cudi, Billie Eilish, and her is the other one. And it's these beautifully shot, like amazing.
It's like a
half hours.
It's a live music video, right? So like they are singing, everyone's playing instruments, but they shoot it like with a storyline, and it's gorgeous, and it's a music video essentially. But people, you know what I'm saying?
Very
but
expensive.
In music videos, they are lip syncing, whereas this is a live performance.
Right. Very, very expensive, by the way, to shoot. And all they did was just throw it up there and name it Prime Day Show. That is the name of it. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Didn't want to think of anything else that would maybe go along with, make people be like, oh, this is right?
Right.
Not just like, I thought Prime Day Show was like a commercial for Prime Day or something.
That's what I thought. And so I just flipped it on thinking it was going to be like, maybe a 60-second spot or whatever. And then those, I was like, oh, these are incredible. And then this led me to the Pank documentary, because it didn't get a lot of shine, but it went straight to Amazon Prime, and they bought it. And we ended up watching it last night. You forget how many hits Pink has. And I certainly don't bring her up enough of like the greats, but like Jesus, man.
Yeah.
She's really good. She's also reminds me of a little dude. She's kind of a little dude.
So I was messing with you.
Will you shut that door?
I was messing with you yesterday, being like, what if I was like Pink, right? Just like a real sit with my legs open like that. I've got a mohawk. Right?
Wide gates.
A wide gate.
Yeah.
Huge broad shoulders, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, what the fuck, dude? Would you be like, yeah, sexy?
I'm telling you, there's a certain type. We all have these friends, all of us, dude-wise, who have these friends who dates butch, dudish women who are, that's their thing, the muscular, and you're just like,
I mean, I get working out and being in shape, but there's also with Pank a whole thing. It's not just like how she looks or whatever. It's a whole vibe. It's
She's also from DelCo.
Stop it.
shut the fuck up.
Is she not? She is?
Is she really?
I think Doylestown. I think that's DelCo. Yeah.
Let's get a confirmation on
I need a
Pank.
confirmation, and you can't claim Pink
DelCo
unless
Princess.
it's real.
The DelCo Princess.
Mm-hmm.
A DelCo princess.
She's from Doylestown, so I believe that's Delaware County. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Hot Bob, what do you got, Hot Bob? Can you confirm it?
Wow. Now, we can keep going while he's looking for this, but, you know, it seems very husband-wife. Like when you
I'm sorry, she's from
Bucks County.
Bucks County.
Bucks County. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't claim her from
Doylestown.
DelCo.
It's right there, though.
Too
it's
bad.
Right there.
Too bad. It's a county over. Sorry. You don't get to claim her.
I don't
You don't
know
get to
where
claim
any
her.
of this stuff is.
Huh?
I don't know where any of this stuff
Pennsylvania.
is. I just know it's a vibe.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. But no, you don't get to claim her. You don't get to claim her. She doesn't get to be in a Kate Winslet show now on HBO. But yes, the butchy dude-ish thing, like we've all got one male buddy who's just super into that, where it's just like, yeah, man. They're like, isn't she? And you're like, yeah, you know.
That's why you have to be careful with, you know, girls that are super into sports. It can go a couple different ways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where it's like they're in the huge jersey, drinking beer and fucking with you, which is great, but that's husband-wife stuff where.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Do you really want that?
There's an in-between, obviously, but there's definitely a thing for dudes.
But the in-between, you see those couples at the games, right? The ass is the same size, the shorts are the same length, the jerseys are the same size, the haircut's the same. Do you know what I mean? Of man and wife that go to these games. And at some point, I bet there was an in-between. But as you get older, it's just your husband, wife, dude. You know, at that point, you've watched enough games, you drank enough beer. It's going to catch up with you guys eventually. And if both of you are doing it, it will be both of you.
Yeah.
But sorry, carry on. With Pink, you know, super talented. I know when she won the Icon Award, I don't know if it was last award show.
Pre-COVID, it was like 2019, yeah.
No, I think it was recently.
No, it was 2019
Can you look that up? She won something like.
She won the Icon Award at the MTV Music Awards, and it was in 2019. It was right before the pandemic started.
She won something recently.
She said she was named Icon at the 2021 Billboard Music Awards.
So the Billboard Awards, she was Icon.
Okay.
And that was recently, because I remember people being like, oh, yeah, fucking Pink, dude, is rad.
Man. Yeah, I remember the MTV one because that one I watched. She did like a fucking huge performance where she was just going over hits and hits and hits, and I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. Billboard though, I don't remember, but it obviously you're correct.
Yeah, she did
Bob.
this huge performance, and it was like the only thing that was good about the Billboard. I mean, a couple things because they actually have real musicians playing on that, but. The performance for the Billboard was insane to the point where you go, oh, yeah, fucking Pink, right?
Yeah.
Like, you forget about her.
Yeah.
And that's what we were saying last night. Like, you forget about her, and then you go, fucking A.
Fucking Pink, dude.
Fucking Pink.
Pink.
And she comes bursting through with her boots and her fucking...
Yeah.
And a mohawk.
The fun game that you can play along at home if you do end up watching the doc is take a drink every time you see
Pink with a drink.
Yes. You will not make it
You'll
home, get a driver, get something. She's boozing the entire fucking thing. And good for her. She's fucking pank, dude. She's got a lot of shit going on. And,
Yeah.
And Gary Hart. God damn it, man. That's, you know.
I feel for him, man. I do because what is it now? Like, not only is she a dude, but she's also like in complete control
Yep.
of their entire finance, relationship,
Life, everything.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
I know. And he's stuck on this tour. You'll see it if you watch it. He's stuck on this tour, and he's Mr. Mom. Like, that's it. And you envision her just like, it's not in the doc, but they'd probably cut a bunch of those scenes out where she was just like, "Hey, Carrie,
a bit too drunk, maybe.
Shut the fuck up, all right? You work for me, okay? You work for me, Carrie. I don't give a shit what you did on your motorcycle fucking 15 years ago. You now work for me, okay? I'm Pink." Like that, I'm sure there was a couple of drunken moments of that where you're just like, whoopsies. All right. But he just
Gary Hart
looks.
is the daddy. Yeah, I mean, look, he looks great.
He looks great.
He's
just
like that trophy wife that's just working out all the time and not doing anything and like taking care of the kids. Like, that's what he does. He looks great, right?
Sounds like a nice life.
There was one.
Is
Well,
it?
look.
No, and I know. Now look, hang on one second.
Yeah.
Because you guys say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know, and you've said it before too, but really, really, when you play the tape to the end, how does that work out for you? Like, how do those fights happen with the wife and she's like, do you know what I mean? The power dynamic, and this is going to be super controversial, and women are going to be like, what the fuck, bitch? But the power dynamic with that feels so unnatural that I think, like, would you really want it, Bob? Would you really want to sit home and be completely in charge of all that and have your wife go, "Oh, you don't like it? Get the fuck out. I make all the money."
So that would be terrible if it was like my wife made 100 and I made 60 or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not enough money to deal with that.
I know where you're going.
But when you are so how could they even have those fights? Like, they're so financially secure that what are they?
She is.
I've got the answer.
Right.
I have.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I have the answer for this,
She has
Bob.
millions. You have zero. So you better fucking fall in line. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool.
I have the answer for this too. Is if you're Carrie Hart, right? You were X Games, motocross, fucking doing tricks and all that shit, and fucking doing blow, banging all those weird fucking girls on the road, doing all the cool shit.
He was
Tatted
the
up. He was the
fucking-
dude for like five to 7 years. All right. Not only can you not do any of those tricks anymore because you've broken every bone in your body and you're older, but now you make zero money because there is no money in X Games bullshit, and you're Pink's husband, to the point where I'm not going to say who it was, but look, we've had 1,000 guests on Drinking Bros. No one will ever know this, but a friend of a friend was just like, yeah, dude. The amount of times he gets pissed off that he's Pink's husband out in public, because people look, there's a with the X Games and like those fucking action sports, if you will. I hate to say that because I've got friends in it, but like there's only one guy. It's like Travis Pastrana, right? He makes all of the money. Everybody else makes nothing.
Yeah, but he does something else with it. So that's not necessarily just like X Games or extreme sports. Like, he's taken it to this Evel Knievel type level because he wanted to keep it going.
But that's one guy, right? The rest of it, who's like, I can name like Brian Deegan or like fucking
Tony Hawk.
Yes, but for skateboarding, right? But there's only
he
one
also,
guy,
right?
Yeah.
He also expanded it out to where
To
he
video
didn't have
games
to do
and-
physical shit
Exactly.
for the rest of his life
Exactly.
and be the old guy at the X Games.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be that guy. Who was that last one, Burnquist or whatever, that fucking fell every single time and he was old as shit
Bob?
and just kept
Bob
breaking.
Burnquist, yeah.
Sorry, but like just breaking everything, and you're just like, oh.
Oh boy, yeah. Somebody's AJ Gamble saying B Coops is from Doylestown or DelCo, I believe. Check that.
Oh,
fact
Yeah, no,
check
he
that.
is.
Oh, he
Cooper is. So is Tina Fey.
All right.
We got a list.
Yeah, you got some good ones.
Yeah.
You got some good ones.
Was like Playlist that movie?
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that like?
That's like a biography for Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but is that like DelCo kind of?
Yeah. They filmed
Yes?
that around Ridley. So.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
See, that I like.
That you're like.
Mayor of
Yeah.
East Town.
Hey, we're almost done. Don't fucking spoil it. It's
I'm not
so far
spoiling.
so good on that one. But
What you're saying is you like to be like 2 arms lengths away from the opioid ODs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think when you're right in the heart of it.
That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
That's like Upper Darby. That's where Tina Fey's
yeah.
from.
Somebody, Eric Tanzi's saying Kelly Slater. Yes, Kelly Slater in surfing, but like in each
That's
of these
surfing, bro.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In each of these sports that are,
Tansy, shut the fuck up. Just kidding. He knows I'm joking.
we love Tanzi. His show is huge, by the way.
It's
already
It's our
great, by the
catchphrase.
way. Failure to Stop. Download it now if you haven't. Him and Mike the Cop. It's great. Anyways, with that, you can name one in every action sport who is like the best, right? Who makes all of the money. The rest of them just kind of travel the world with sponsorships, but it doesn't really pay that much.
Right.
You're just like, all right, cool, man. But then what? Once this is over, that's what happened to Carrie Hart, where you could go and do, I don't know, and you could be an X Games host, I guess. That only pays like $65,000 a year.
Yeah. It's you and Sway, right? Or who's the
yeah.
fucking
Who's
guy
that?
that's doing it? Who is it?
I don't know.
One of those.
It's very Sway-ish, whoever that guy is.
Whoever that guy is.
It's not Sway, but
You
yes.
know what I
I know
mean?
exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, that's why he only gets paid $65,000 because you don't know his
Okay.
name. But with that, now imagine doing all of the cool shit in your life, doing dangerous shit. You're on TV, you're famous, and you're this high flying athlete. Not only is that gone, but then you marry one of the biggest pop stars in the world. You can't do anything anymore except for that. I think that's when it becomes depressing. There was one shot in that documentary where they cut to him and he's like lying on a bed and
It's black and white. He's drinking a whiskey.
he's
and
drinking
he's
whiskey by himself.
he's
And
like,
he's
"It's just-"
watching his old footage of.
No, they're cutting it in, but they're what?
Yeah.
That's just brutal.
Right. And so he's talking to her and he goes, yeah. Or he's talking to the camera / her, whatever. Yeah, it is kind of sad that like I did all my like cool stuff before our first child was born, and like he's never gonna know me as like
Competing.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Competing.
a
He goes, I
competitor
can
and-
show him old videos, I guess, but it's not gonna be the same. And it was like the one time they let him talk, because by the way, he doesn't get to talk. Okay, in the whole documentary, by the way, he's the nanny. So have fun with that, Bob. But anyway, like. He doesn't get to talk. They finally let him talk, and that's what he says. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
I know.
I mean, like, so here's the thing with that, though. Just like, okay, so Pink is kind of fucking nuts, right?
Sure.
And a bro.
Sure.
So the first couple years of the marriage, you're getting your dick broke off, right? Like crazy, insane
Yeah.
sex, right? So that's rad.
Pe-
Presumably,
pegging probably, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, look, whatever, man.
Hey, if you ride a bike for that long, you want probably something in your ass.
Yeah, you don't even feel it go in.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then, maybe she at some point, the other thing is going into the marriage, she's bro, like, I don't give a shit about shit. Probably no prenup, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah.
So then maybe things start to go south, and she starts to be like, you're not like, she first starts to think like he's not a real man, and then starts to treat you like he's not a real man, and then you get disgruntled, and you're like, God damn it, fuck you, you bitch, like I am a real man, and then like I guess worst case scenario is the marriage goes south and you get to cash out.
Do you think he gets to cash out?
Yes.
If there's no prenup?
there's no prenup for sure.
How do you know?
Yeah.
At the time they got married, like he was still competing and doing shit, and it was like, I think with Pink, it could have gone Pank.
I know. Why are you calling her Pink?
Pank.
Yeah.
It's Pank.
Two in the Pank.
Here's where my power would come from in that marriage. I'll give you
Please,
my
Bob.
exact
Oh,
argument.
and I've
Yeah.
been down this road. It
All right.
doesn't happen. Go ahead.
My exact argument would be like, oh, I don't make any money. I'm not a man. Then leave me and see how much of a fucking man I am when I take half of your money. Then I'm going to have money. Then I'm going to be a goddamn man.
Yeah.
Look, and that's cute. And I've tried. And by the way, I've tried it. Okay, I've tried it, Bob. Doesn't work. Okay, because you'll be alone and no one will like you. And do you know what I mean? Like, look, that argument has been happening from women. It's just the whole way that the world fucking goes round, right? I'm not saying anything that isn't really true if you really fucking think about it, anyone that's married, right?
Yeah.
There is that power dynamic. I don't know if you guys make the same amount of money or you're really just chill and boring. I don't know. But that conversation is always going to come up. Now, look, women should know that they do actually have that power. You are going to be like, I'm going to take the house. I'm going to take half the money. You're going to leave and live in a little studio apartment. You're going to pay me to take care of your kids, and you're going to fucking love it, right? Like, that can happen.
Yeah.
But getting to that point, real hard, bud.
Real hard.
Yeah. Well, if I was a woman, too, it would be especially nice in that argument because you can be like, you want to find out just how uphill your fight in court is going to be, you motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have friends who are going through it now, and it's like, God damn, dude. Like,
Yeah.
So
Dude,
I would definitely drop that if I was a chick in an unhappy marriage. I'd be like,
Yeah, but the truth is, like, women just aren't as smart as men. So it's like they're always going to. Bob, what? I mean, are we truth talking here? Or like, so like the guy is always gonna be shiesty enough to figure it fucking out. But anyway, point is, I've known one house husband that really seemed like he loved it. That artist guy.
Oh yeah, no,
from North Carolina.
yeah, we won't
He
say,
would
but yes, I
show
know
up
who it is.
to
yes,
the
100%.
preschool. He'd bring both the kids every morning, hair spiked up, Uggs on, hanging out with all the ladies, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he would
yeah.
go surf or something. But like, he seemed like he loved it. His wife made a bunch of money. She went to work. He stayed home.
Yep. No.
And like, I don't know how it worked. He was the coolest. They were the coolest couple. But I was like, that is the only situation I've seen where it's like
You have to be
somehow seems copacetic. I don't know.
You've
but-
got to be happy doing it and all that other stuff. Like,
you know, when you have to have other things that you like doing, you're like, look, and it seems at this point, Carrie Hart really does like hanging out with his kids, right? And
Yes,
so,
yeah.
yes, could they just hire a nanny and he goes and does his thing and whatever? So, like, it does seem like he's gotten to a point where he's like, look, I get to hang out with my kids, and
Yeah.
that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's nice. But I'm sure there was struggle along the way to get to that point.
fuck yeah, dude. Bob,
Yeah.
you're about to go through this, but like the first 2 to 4 years, the kids want their mom. You know, it's mommy, right? They don't say daddy, daddy, daddy when something goes wrong or
But
anything
I do
else.
feel like that's a little bit of a honey dick sometimes.
It is not. Oh, by the kids or me?
Dads in general.
Oh,
You guys got
no.
together and just
No.
went, look,
No.
all they want is the mom, okay?
No,
So then you can
it
do
is true, and it's
No,
it's,
it is.
and
And
that's
it does switch, though. It does switch.
It does
So
switch, so it'll go back
the
because you're having a
kids-
boy, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll go
when the
back
kids
to
get
dad's
easier-
rad, and yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens. Same with anything. Real feminist episode here, but women get the hardest part.
Yep.
And then when they get easier and they're fun and you don't have to like wipe their ass or anything, they love you and
Yeah.
they hate me. So just like with anything,
Let's go to a ball game, son.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Leave mom at home.
Everything's coming up, man.
Yeah. Now we can be just you and me. Get this old broad out and let's get us a younger gal.
Yeah.
And the son will be like, yeah, let's get a younger gal.
God, it
Dad."
works out so well too, because you know, like the 23-year-old I'm gonna have after I leave Courtney,
Exactly.
it's gonna be like all the same like YouTube shit as him and
Yes.
stuff, and they're
Yeah.
gonna get along
Yes.
so much better.
They're gonna
No,
be
I
bros.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going older with my second husband, but
Yeah. Well, most women do.
you have to.
Yeah, because they're just like, all right, sweet. What do you want to do? You want to sleep at 8? Great, let's do that. I'm
Because
old.
we like what's comfortable in the power dynamic, and you guys go for the younger girl so that you can fucking have one over on him. Listen.
No, it's not that. You know.
No, because you want us old broads to be like, oh, you're so amazing. I just love you so much. You're so funny. Oh, how do you do it? And we're not going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
So you get rid of us and you get one that's going to.
Welcome. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking 22.
22?
Whatever, man. I don't. Some people graduate
At
early.
least go 25
I
so you
don't
can
know.
have some
I
kind of.
don't know how I'm feeling. You know, we'll see. I'm kidding. Jessie, I'm kidding. Come on. Keep asking me for a boob job, though. It's going to happen. You know?
Okay, fine.
Big fan. Big fan. No need for that. No need for that, okay? I'll tell you when. We'll have a convo, you know? We'll go to some weird restaurant where it's like Dick's Last Resort. And I'll be like, hey,
And you open it up and it's like the card.
No, I'll have the
to-
waiter come over and be like, yeah.
The card to the plastic
You need new
surgeon.
tits. Yeah. Congratulations. Could you imagine?
Congratulations.
Dick's Last Resort. Oof. Speaking of Dick's Last Resort, there is this wing shortage now is becoming super real, and people are starting to war about it online. They're going to war with each other.
So with the NyQuil thing that you were talking about, sorry, I was going to bring that up because I won't do that for like drugs, but for wings, I'll go 2 times through and like put on
disguise
glasses with the nose and mustache.
Did you
and
tell
then-
the story when you walked into the grocery store and they made you put back the wings?
Yeah, so they finally got wings back.
This is real,
so
by the
stupid,
way.
But they didn't have wings forever, and finally got wings back. So I grabbed like 4 packs, and they were like, I went up to the counter and they're like, you have to put 2 of those back, and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
And so again, I bought 2, put those back, put on my disguise.
Yeah.
Went back and got the other 2. And I know that's a problem. And look, I didn't do it with toilet paper. I didn't do it with Clorox wipes.
Yep.
But I will fucking do it with wings, right?
Yeah.
Because people's lives don't depend on that. But I know that that's the problem, right? I know me going in disguise and getting more, but I have to clarify that I didn't do that with any of the supplies.
Okay. And
During
so
pandemic, which is why all of that shit happened.
And
Or
I'm-
gas. I didn't get gas that one time.
I'm going to clarify this for the audience because this is extremely rare and I want this on the record and known, okay?
Right.
I've never, ever been to someone's house where they made homemade wings and they were good.
Sure.
Not once in my life. You said, I think I can do this and master it with the Traeger and whatever. Yeah. And I came home. The wings were so good that I never wanted to go to a wing place again. Therefore, when you came home and said, dude, there's a wing shortage and all this other shit, and I had to put wings back, I was like, fuck this. I mean, that will make me go BLM and burn some shit down. Like, that'll make me loot the goddamn grocery store. Okay? Now, I thought it was just at the grocery store. Apparently, it is not. So, Hooters is going through it right now. Love the wings at Hooters. However, putting their sauce and shit later, wouldn't recommend.
It's too buttery.
Just get it in the restaurant. With Hooters,
It needs a breading.
they're
Go
going
ahead.
through the wing shortage so much so that they are now doing thighs.
Wingstop too.
Wingstop.
Yep, Wingstop as well. And so
Buffalo Wild
they're
Wings,
warring
yeah.
online where Wingstop, dude. Somebody said, when's the last time anybody said, let's get wings at Hooters? And I was just like, ooh. Those are fighting words
Mean.
right
Hooters
there.
has good wings. It's so.
I mean, I can't wait to go full Rick Ross on these lemon pepper thighs at Wingstop.
So are you into it or not? Because
Thighs are good. Yeah, thighs good meat.
it is good meats, but it's not a wing.
It's not a wing, but it's the best meat.
So that is the debate going online right now of like, all right, so if there is a wing shortage and people are switching to thighs,
Yeah.
is that good enough? And then is there a bone? Like, what is that?
You can get bone-in chicken thighs.
You get bone in.
How
but
big? How big
It's
is
fucking
that?
huge.
I get 'em
though. I mean,
boneless,
it's yeah. You boneless is the way you should get them. Like if you're gonna cook them, because it's annoying.
Well, so
Bone makes it taste better.
yes,
makes it taste
yes,
better,
dude. I don't do boneless wings when I go out. Like I don't do
no,
that.
it's still a chicken with real chicken with the skin on. You just take that one. It has like one bone in it.
Yeah. Are they like trimming it? So it's like
Oh, so that it's kind of like smaller, like
Yeah.
Okay, the point of the wing, this is
Yes.
is because it's completely covered in skin, right? Mm-hmm. And so you can crisp that all up. The problem with the thigh, right, is that there's part of it that's open, then it's not really like a dipping thing. So if we could, I guess maybe you get that big, the whole thing with the drum attached, maybe.
I guess what you could do is you get a bone-in thigh, right? And
Sure.
it's got the skin on it.
Yeah.
And you pull the skin up, but don't take it off. Trim some of the meat off, and then wrap the skin around the
do.
bone.
Yeah,
God,
honestly,
but-
Ross could use his skills with circumcision to help you with the
Yeah.
thighs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then we'd
I could
have to
circ
like
those
maybe
thighs.
sew it, Bob.
Sew the
Like,
bone in.
Maybe.
The bottom?
I guess
don't
if
know.
you,
Look,
I
you
guess
could
if you're
just tuck it. Look.
All of this.
is-
Here's the thing. Why is there a fucking wing shortage, Biden?
Yeah, actually, do we have
Thanks, Biden.
Do we have any kind of answer or theory as to why, or is that part of the meat shortage, or what is happening?
I'm not sure what's happening. I haven't dug any further into it, but when I woke up this morning to see that trending of wing thighs or chicken thighs now at Wingstop and Hooters and shit like that, fuck off, dude. That's just chicken now. That's like I didn't get boneless wings either. I don't do that.
No, because that's literally just a nugget, right?
So if I have to go, if you and I have to go onesies in and out of the grocery store, like I'll do that. Like I'm fine.
yeah, I think like I should, but
It's because we were selfish 10 years ago with the unlimited wings, all you can eat.
Were
but
we?
again, like
Were we though?
I wasn't, but I was. Hand up.
No, I just always thought that like chicken was one of those things that we just have fucking everywhere, dude.
They're blaming essentially the weather,
What weather?
the harsh winter.
Here?
And they lost a bunch of.
Yeah, they said that they need to catch up with the supply. I guess.
Oh, God
I kind of
damn
think
it.
they're just breeding horrifying monsters,
Yes.
like with no limbs.
That's exactly
on
what's going on.
accident.
It's Bill Gates in
Yeah.
one of his fucking 8 million miles of farmland, and he's growing 80 wings on one chicken back, and then they're gonna pop back out. It's gonna be some meatless freak show fucking wing thing, and it's like, get off my lawn with that bullshit, man. I don't want it. I don't want thighs. I don't want boneless.
I'll
want
take your
wings.
thighs.
My solution.
I mean, a thigh. Look, if you don't want it to be a wing, like a thigh is like the only chicken that I want.
I
to cook with at this
understand.
point. Okay, I'm just saying.
But if I want wings,
No, I know.
Don't offer me a fucking thigh,
no, I
bro.
get it. I get it.
Don't
Well,
do
you
it.
could do it. The only other option really would just be the leg, like the drumsticks. You just make a much bigger.
That's
wing.
what I mean. So you're attaching the thigh to the drumstick, right? And then it makes it that big
Yeah.
kind of L thing.
Yeah. So
Then
it's
you
just
could
a
just, like,
giant,
dip-
like it's like a Renaissance
Like
fair.
a Ren fair. I was
Yeah,
just gonna say.
get a turkey leg like we had
Yeah.
a Ren fair. By the way, the other shortage. Oh, I hate to say this one to you, James. Rosé is there's a shortage
I know.
of that.
Don't tell me something I didn't know.
oh, so
I
you did know
definitely
that.
knew that. Oh yeah.
Okay, this is classic clickbait. Me and Rob wrote on the internet for years. Literally, this is the wing shortage is for men, and the wine shortage, or the wine is healthy for your, like wine's healthy for you. That is a clickbait article that you can run back every 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's fine.
So
It's all lies.
So you're saying there is
Who
no
benefits
shortage
from
and,
that?
and
No
everybody's
shortage. There's no wine
walk,
shortage.
walk into a
we're
store
just
right now.
creating. Are we just creating demand?
No, so she gets this Yes Way Rosé,
Sure.
which is obviously a
And they posted me and they
hilarious.
follow me. But
Do they really? Yeah. Hilarious pun on wines and whatever, right? So you asked me to pick some of that up the other night. We have this subscription to First Leaf Wine. Try firstleaf.com/drinkingbros. $29.99 for 6 bottles and free shipping. I love them. I've been a member of this now for like a year and a half. You can switch out the bottles. So I was just
No, I
like,
know.
well, here's the thing. So I went on last night because the new shipment's coming in next week.
And you were trying to get rosé.
Yes, and it said I couldn't.
It said no way.
Yeah, it said I couldn't
And you
get.
said
I couldn't
yes
swap
way.
it out for the rosé. Now they did let me switch it all to whites, so I was able to get you
Okay,
all
no,
white
that's
wine.
fine.
Okay, but the rosé, and then when you sent me to the grocery store that night to get the Yes Way rosé, and I was like, dude, they don't have it, and they pointed me to the spritzer. They're like, oh, we got the little spritzer cans or whatever, and I got those.
Oh,
I
they
was
were
like,
good. I mean, they were good.
Okay.
But I just don't. I don't
so
like
in that
any
section
canned
at the grocery
stuff.
store,
Yeah.
the rosé. I mean, there wasn't very many bottles left, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I know.
And there's a shortage of all of this weird shit out there, and it's like, why this?
I might be with Dan on this. Like, it just seems like something.
You blow it out of proportion like 20x. It's the it's that's basically our media internet. You can actually describe all of the American media environment by this rosé and wing situation.
I mean, now that you're saying it, like,
Yeah.
those two things just don't make.
Also, the ripple effects of that boat in the Suez Canal.
Oh yeah.
shit,
It's
yeah.
all coming back.
Oh, that was instant coffee and
It's-
fucking.
it's all
other
coming
things
back.
We don't use, but
But wait,
how
no,
funny it's both things that I love.
love are gone, and
Maybe it's an attack on me.
Maybe.
Maybe as I talk too much shit about traditional
Now, because there's an attack on Jessie today.
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's an attack on Jessie today with the rosé and the wings. There was also an attack on Brendan Fraser last night. Now I want to clear this
Hold up.
Wait.
What?
Yes, I want to clear this up, and I'm gonna be the first one to come out to the world and say what this is. So, Brendan Fraser was on the red carpet or a blue carpet last night. Type this in, Bob, and put this picture on the screen because this is
I'm
important.
typing it in. Okay, what?
Well, I want the audience to
No,
see
I know.
what this is.
I need to.
Everybody was very, very shocked at his appearance last night.
Oh no, he's right on time.
Hang on.
That train is right on time.
Hang
Go
on.
ahead.
We got to put it up for the audience
Okay, fine.
there. Timmy D, by the way, is saying part of the reason for there's a chicken wing shortage, there was a massive fire at a really big chicken farm in Arizona. It was on the local news a while back. Millions of chickens died in Arizona. Well, Timmy D, if that's real, that's a really fucked up story. Also, I don't care.
Also,
I want the
couple
wings.
of those thighs must have been smoked at that point,
Yeah, if anything, they did the work for
right?
us.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a slow smoke, huh?
My
Couple of them.
solution, since we don't give a shit about chickens, is ramp up the stem cell research and just have chickens that are alive constantly. And you keep regrowing wings on them, and then just hack, and then just regrow it back.
Yeah. That's Bill Gates. That's Bill Gates. That's what he's probably doing.
It's like a fingernail.
Are you ready for this photo?
Yes, put the photo of Brendan Fraser up on the
Bob, you're a
screen. There it
genius.
is. Okay.
Oof.
So,
Oh no.
boy. This popped up last night.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, yes. This popped up last night, okay? People were concerned, to say the least, of, oh my God, what happened to Brendan Fraser, and he was just getting absolutely murdered online. There is an explanation for this photo, and this is I'm going to save you today, Jessie, okay?
Okay.
Save your relationship with Brendan Fraser, save you with the audience and everything else.
Oh, I need to be clear for 1 second. There is nothing wrong with that picture. That is the exact Brendan Fraser that I want.
Yeah, go full screen with it, Bob.
Yep.
Let's see him standing up all the way.
I
Go down to the
will
feet. There you
take
go.
it.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Okay. Here's the explanation for what is going on with Brendan Fraser. He is actually starring in a new movie about one of those people. It's called like My 600-Pound Life. He is actually playing the 600-pound man.
The whale is what it's
The
called.
whale, yes. So he has been gaining weight for this role. No one knew last night that he was gaining all this weight for this role.
He actually brought the project to him. Which is what I'm going to start doing. Hey, do you guys want to shoot this story about just like an older gal with some danglers? Her husband won't get her. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I just give him everything that I want to do, and then I just start eating a bunch. Brendan Fraser, this is genius. Okay.
So this is for a movie. This is not what he looks like. There was a huge fucking firestorm about this last night.
Why go out?
What's that?
Like, why go out?
I think he was going out to do press for this movie. Or he might have been in the movie that was...
too, because it's Darren Aronofsky. Like, I would just be like, don't go anywhere, bro. Like, I want this movie to be like a surprise, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Don't go
I
out,
don't
because
know.
now it's like,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But it's.
He went out for me, I think, because he's like, there is one girl out there that I am her exact type right now, and I'm doing this for her. Because you know you're getting killed. How could he deal with that?
I don't know. I mean, after the taint rub, that whole story, I just.
No, and just like the whole thing, his appearance before with the cowboy hat and like the belt. You need to put the belt in so the belly comes over. Like, I don't. He must just love me. I don't know what it is.
So that's what it is, kids. It's no, he's not gained 400 pounds. He has for a movie, but not in real life. So, B. Phrase, I got your back on this one, man. That was when I saw it last night, I was as shocked as everybody else, and I was like, "There's got to be something to this, right?" And then, sure enough, okay, cool. So,
And let it be known, I have always been on your side, B. Phrase.
Yeah.
You
You've
were
always
my
been
first boyfriend.
even the taint rub thing. You were on his side, and I was like, that's a little much for me.
Yeah. Did he come out with it?
Yeah, he did a whole expose on the whole story.
That was the only thing, but I think he was on a lot of pills at that time, so I'm going to let him. We're going to let that one go.
If you don't remember that story, we talked about it maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. Brendan Fraser did what was it, GQ or something like that? Big magazine, where he claimed that a gay man had sexually assaulted him at a party, stuck his hand on the back of his pants, grabbed his balls, taint, and asshole, like ran his hand through it, all at the same time, and it's really affected him. So
Yeah, it was really fun when him and Terry Crews tried to get in on the women's fucking Me Too movement. That was super fun. Two huge, fucking muscular dudes trying to get in on our. Just leave us alone. Give us fucking 6 months, which is all you gave us, by the way.
yeah,
6 months.
That's it.
And now we're not even a real gender anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all. By the way, so when I was watching that Pink thing last night, right, and it ended, Pank.
Well, you did. You said it right, but kind of like fast.
Yeah. There was a movie that popped up that was like a trailer, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's Chris Pratt. It's like a huge, big budget action movie with Chris Pratt that is going directly to Amazon Prime on 4th of July weekend. And I was like, oh, shit. It's not going to theaters.
What is it?
I don't know. He's saving the world from like, I feel like it's the same form of alien/dinosaur body that they're using for the last 10 years and all this shit. It's like a Stranger Things type of alien, and he's got to save the world from these aliens. And I mean, the lines are, there's not one chance in this damn world that I would let this happen. Like things like that. We're just like, all right, cool. So we're doing that all the way in now. And I was like, well, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Who else is in on this? The shocking one this morning is Steven Spielberg, the guy who said, I would never go to streaming. Movies are meant for theaters. I'll never do digital.
I think I said this exact thing when he said it.
Yes. And it came true. Yep. Came true this morning. Signed a colossal deal with Netflix. So you're going to be seeing some Steven Spielberg movies on Netflix, Jabes. You called this.
Yeah.
Because
just like with anyone,
Scorsese,
that tries to fight against the stuff, like eventually you will give in because it's not going to change. Netflix isn't going away. Self-checkout isn't going away, right?
I don't. It's not that I'm mad at self-checkout or any of that shit.
No.
Like,
I'm just saying, like, Spielberg was trying to do that thing that we all do, which is like, I won't do it.
Yeah.
And then, a year later, you're just checking out. You actually work at Walmart. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it happens to all of us, and Spielberg is no exception.
No, not at all. And he took all of the money and did it. So he's at Netflix. The interesting thing about all this shit is like looking at the ratings of all of it. I just don't understand where that money is coming from. I know Netflix is like $3 billion in debt right now, currently. And some people have said as high as 6. I don't know. They keep everything a secret over there pretty much. The only thing that came out was something that got leaked with like numbers and ratings and all that other stuff, because everybody else does traditional ratings, and you're like, all right, is all this money worth it? Are you really bringing that many, that much people in for a profit? Well, with Netflix, the answer is no. Now with HBO, we were talking about that mayor of Easttown earlier. With that project, the total on that, I looked at the ratings for that, the total for the season finale, and it started off really bleak, I guess. Like the ratings were terrible, word of mouth carried it. And then everybody was watching the season finale, and it was trending #1 on Twitter and all that stuff. 4 million.
That what?
4 million people were watching it. That was the ratings for it. And I'm like, that's an expensive show to shoot. And 4 million is if that's your number now, how do you afford to keep doing that shit? If that's, your big hit of the year. And I remember Walking Dead, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, their season finale got like 17 million viewers, right? And that's worth it. And you were like, oh shit, all right, cool.
Yeah.
4 million though was like, Dave gets higher numbers than that on Hulu.
That many seasons of Walking Dead was not worth it. No,
it's still going, right?
No, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's still going.
I think Rick's done. He like flew off the show.
Oh, I've never watched it. It's not my jam.
That's bad.
But they're still doing The Walking Dead. There's like, spin-off show, 9 million fucking things and blah, blah, blah. But with 4 million viewers for that, and again, Dave gets higher ratings than that.
Yeah, but like, how many people were really hyping up this show before it even came out?
Which one?
Mayor of Easttown.
We're hyping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually,
Not a whole lot of promotion.
Yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
true.
It's strange too for a Kate Winslet thing because like she's not cheap. Kate Winslet is not. That's an expensive actress. If you're gonna get her to go and do TV,
Yeah.
that money's got to be pretty decent for Kate Winslet. Therefore,
I don't
that's
think
gonna.
Evan Peters is that expensive.
He's not. No. But she
Who?
is Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
Which one is he?
Yeah, he's the
Weird
other
looking
cop.
dude.
The other cop.
Yeah.
The other cop?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The kid from Ridley. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the kid from what?
Ridley Township. He talks about going back to his reunion.
Yeah. That's a inside DelCo thing for Dan, and that's a fun
Okay.
thing for him that no
There
one
was
else
a
will
shot
understand.
in one of the last episodes. It was real close on his face and skin, and I don't get it.
I don't either.
Okay,
I had an ex.
it was hard to look at.
This guy's from St. Louis, and I had an ex who it was not a good breakup, and it was in college, and I guess she was out at a bar one night and like made out with him in St. Louis, and
Evan Peters?
yeah, and then was like telling everyone and like was trying to make me like jealous about it. And she's like, I got his number and I'm gonna text him or whatever. And then like, I was like, I don't think that the famous actor wants to fuck you. Personally, because he was on American Horror Story at the time and stuff like that.
Okay.
He was already big, like
Okay.
fairly big, had a career for sure.
Sure.
Okay,
And anyway, he like just fucking ghosted her. It was like looked at his phone the next day and was clearly like, ugh, that chick, no, and just never responded to her like multiple texts like, hey.
right?
Well,
That's all I can think of
hey.
every time I see him.
when you're
Oh my gosh,
when you're
you guys have history
when
with
you're
him.
Evan Peters though, and you're in a town like that,
I need
right?
to
And
see a
people
different
know
picture of him.
it's a fucking. You're throwing it out to everybody, and then you're picking the best at the end of the night. So she wasn't the best.
He also, I think, in 75% of the stuff he's in, he dies.
Yeah, look, he's not.
Okay.
Again, nothing to really look at.
Yeah.
And just
All
not
right.
that great of an actor, but whatever.
He's a great Quicksilver
Yeah.
What's Quicksilver? The fuck is
in
that?
X-Men.
Marvel.
Oh Christ!
I enjoy him in the new
WandaVision?
X-Men.
Fuck off.
He was in WandaVision as well.
Go back to your Star Wars sheets. I'm not doing that. We're not doing the make-em-ups. We don't do the make-em-ups here on the show at all.
I think maybe long hair is his thing, and then something's up with the skin that is hard to put makeup on. So I could
Yeah.
see he has some kind of skin thing, and they were trying to put makeup on it, and it's just like flaking off. And so, look, I see that he is something sometimes. Okay, carry on. Sorry, it was such a hard because it's super. It's 4K.
Yeah.
It's in your face.
Yeah.
It's DelCo, so they're not gonna really make them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They make you down.
They make you
Make you
down, right?
down,
And I
yeah.
got that, so I was like, okay, they're making him super pale and weird and DelCo, but still, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Wowie wows. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was mean. We like to end on a real mean note.
No,
Go ahead.
last but not least here. Man, you forget these things are going on until they pop up to where you're like, oh shit, is that today? That mayor race in New York City is happening today for the primaries.
Oh, yeah.
This is Andrew Yang.
It's Andrew Yang. Is he defund police? Because that's the only thing that they're running on at this point.
Is it really?
Defund
So
or
He is
or not?
not for it, I believe.
He's not for it?
Yeah, Andrew Yang gets dinged pretty hard for not essentially fitting into the left-wing ideological box because he's often pragmatic, but he's also often not like pie in the sky too because he's the universal basic income candidate.
Yeah. Look, I want him somewhere. Like, I want him
Agreed.
to be somewhere. And I want any of those things to be tried out because, look, you never fucking know. 4-day work week, let's fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that. New York is in rough shape right now, and you need a fucking hard ass in there right now, I feel like. So I have...
Okay, but the problem is this. So there's two parts of New York, right? There's the super crime part, and then there's the super rich, woke, whatever. So like those two things, the defund the police is the only issue as far as the mayor race is going. From what I understand.
And
it's
that's
literally like either you're for it or against it, and that is literally the only thing they're voting on.
That's fine. But right now, New York, you need police. Like, that is the fucking dumbest shit of all time.
People that believe that really believe that.
So I guess you'll find out this evening, but that's going on now. I didn't know that was going on. And then I caught speaking of wokeness, because I couldn't let this one go either. Did you catch a trailer for a movie called Karen?
I don't know.
Do yourself a
Who's
solid if you're out there at home, and go ahead and we can't show it because they'll flag us on YouTube.
Who's playing anybody?
Taryn Manning is playing Karen.
Yep.
And what it is a black family moves into this white suburban neighborhood next door, and she is the Karen. And then it appears if she kills people or does the whole thing, and I mean,
that Karen does?
yes, the wokeness of this movie is just fucking crazy. I can't believe this got made, but hey, man, they're definitely doing it.
Well, I'm sure the train, I'm sure the ball got rolling at a perfect time, but now that you know what I'm saying? Like, if it had been made right away when they like got everybody in place and whatever, or came out right then, might have worked.
Yeah.
But it was same like the Tiger King movies that were being made that hopefully are never going to be made, right?
They're already in production.
So like that, when they finally come out,
right.
No, thank you. But if you can put something out, by the way, like for example, Housewife and The Hustler, they edited that. That's why it wasn't that great, because they edited it like in a fucking day to get it out right when all of that shit was coming out.
I thought that doc was done pretty well.
Sure, but like, you know, they got who they could get to talk to.
Sure.
They did it really quick. So,
Sure.
But I think it was smart, instead of like trying to make this perfect thing with whatever and then have it come out way after. If you can get it out right when like the headlines are actually happening, that's kind of when to do it. It's almost impossible, right? But that's the thing with Karen, where it's like, it's going to come out way too late.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. People are comparing it to Get Out, and you know, some people are pissed about it, whatever.
Yeah, because they compare anything.
I
with
just
black
look at the
people to
wokeness
Get Out.
of all of this shit to like, oh boy, that's what you're making. You're making all this now, and we're here. We're absolutely here.
And I don't want to drag the show out too long if you don't
Who cares?
mind.
I don't give a
okay.
shit. Do whatever you want.
So I
Chase.
was hearing, I forget where it was. Where are they doing the voting laws? Is it Arizona? That big voting they're talking about.
There's a bunch of
changing
places.
There's a
pretty
bunch
much
of places,
everywhere,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The way that they're talking about minorities is so fucking condescending and horrible. Like, are they pissed?
Who?
Let's just say you go up to any black person, you're like, do you think it's cool that they are saying, you know, these laws will directly affect you because you are usually poor, usually don't have an ID, usually don't, like all of these things where a black person would be like, no, I'm fine. I have a fucking ID. Like, I can get, where do you want me to go? I can go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and the way that they're talking about it is so blatantly like, they're talking about people of color like they're all just dumb. They don't have IDs. They don't have money. They don't have a car. They don't have a thing.
Well,
and it's fine, but it's just, it's a little, it's
fine.
getting a little bit broad.
Here's
to the point where it's.
Well, Dan and I talk about this all the time on Drinking Bros.
If you do, then forget it.
No, it's fine. But I'll answer it. It's like, dude, that Democrats in particular depend on black people to vote. And the more and more you can treat them like, hey, we are giving you checks and everything else, and we're helping you out here, and you need to vote for us. That's how this is going to continue. Like with these voter ID laws, I've never met anybody, because you see people bitching about it on both sides, right? Republican and Democrat. I don't know anybody who actually knows what these laws are or is reading them, because what's happening is they're being passed, and then immediately people go to Twitter an hour later and be like, fuck you, fuck you. Nobody's read any of these bills. For the most part, a lot of it has to do with identification. I will never understand that in a million years, why you would not require an ID for voting in the United States of America. I don't understand that. I can't go to another country.
Maybe
I can't go to one country without a passport, an ID. I can't fucking drive a car.
No, and I get that. And I get all that.
I can't get booze.
No, I know. I get all that. I'm just saying, like, I get the idea of, like, not wanting to suppress certain voters, but it just seems pretty broad now, and they seem very comfortable with talking about people of color and minorities in this pretty horrible way. So, I don't know. Just seems like...
yeah, I saw a stat the other day, literally yesterday. It was something like over 80% of... It was either minorities in general or African Americans. I can't remember which one that was. Over 80% of them are for voting with an ID. And also over 80% of people who make less than $50,000 a year are for voting with an ID.
Yes, and I don't understand that. The other part is a lot. The other parts to some of these voter laws that's happening right now is the mail-in ballot in particular. Right, they want you to have an ID or write your identification number on it, and they want to shrink the window of it. I have a different theory on this of why this is happening, because right now there's audits going on in different cities and states for the 2020 election. They're not saying a lot, which always gives me a pause where, like, if the media is not really talking about this, because if it was all clean and good, they would just come out and say, oh, nothing to see here, we're moving on, whatever.
Right.
I know there was an issue in Maricopa County, and they've sent in the DOJ and some other people and everything else to kind of investigate what this is. My personal guess is behind the scenes, there was some issues in some states and everything else, and they were like, all right, how do we cut down on this for the next election or the next election cycle? Because we all could be headed for that, of digitally voting by phone or whatever else. I mean, look, signing up for some of these crypto apps, Jesus Christ, man, they want ID, they want everything that you have just to get a goddamn account for this, right? For money and everything else. Yeah. Same with opening a bank account. So, like, I don't understand what the bitching is for, and to not have an ID in this world right now is nuts to me. Like, you need it everywhere you go for all of the things that you do. I forget what the
outlet was that went to some city, whatever town, talked to every black person, was like, hey, do you have an ID? And they're like, yeah. Yeah. And the guy's like, oh, because they're saying that people of color don't have an ID. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yes.
And he talked to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
That were just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I have an ID. They go, everyone knows you need an ID. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also, I looked this up one time because I thought the ID thing was weird. And I'm not, just to comment, I just thought that was weird. 19% of African Americans and 13% of Latino households reported not having access to a vehicle, which means that 80% of them basically have a car if you're black, and almost 87% of Latinos have a car.
Yeah, and let's do white household.
Yeah, know what I mean? I would have to imagine, because there's there's a lot.
White's like 96% have access to a car.
Okay.
So it's much higher for sure, but that's.
But yeah, I hear you.
But even if you're gonna go buy cigarettes, booze, lotto tickets, something, get on a flight, get on a thing. What are you doing without an ID? I don't know what you can do really. They never trusted me as a kid when I was buying booze illegally to be like, oh, you look fine. You look good. Go home with it. You're good to go.
Who's Katz Jackson, you guys?
Don't know. He's saying Bob is a narcissist.
And he said Jessie doesn't know what she's talking about, and Bob is a narcissist. I mean, there's a lot of things you can say about Bob. narcissist is definitely not one of them, right?
I just hide it so well.
Oh,
good.
you're a what are they called? A passive aggressive narcissist.
Yeah, like a sociopath.
I like that.
Yeah.
You'll
I
see
like
more
that.
of that on Softcore History.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you will.
Turn into a monster when you guys leave the room.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
you do.
Well,
Maybe you do.
Jackson. Maybe you know what you're talking about, but
And
you got a troll in our midst.
yeah, but either way, we'll end it with that. If you love Bob's narcissism, you can check that on Softcore History.
I do have something really narcissistic to say.
Please.
Thank you so much to Timmy D for he sent me a baby book. What
that's awesome.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
to expect when you're expecting, but I think it was for toddlers, so it wasn't immediate. But what to
Okay.
expect for toddlers, essentially a fucking like Bible of a book, like real thick.
Yeah.
Super duper appreciate that. That's the sweetest thing in the world. The
Aw.
fans for these shows are like just the nicest.
So
It's the
good,
best.
right?
The
Except for
best.
Katz Jackson, but
Except for
everyone
Katz
else
Jackson. Bob's
is
a
great. And then
narcissist.
even Katz, maybe he knows what
Yeah.
he's talking about.
Maybe he
Maybe-
knows.
never know.
Because
Maybe he's trying to help.
truly, I don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe Bob is a narcissist, right?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
So maybe he's got
Download
all
Softcore
the
History.
answers.
Go to your because they have a video for their show. So Katz, what's his name? Katz Jackson. I like the name though.
I know.
Yeah.
Katz Jackson. Go to Softcore History. Go to their YouTube videos, and then you can tell Bob what a narcissist
Yeah,
he is over and
no,
over
blow
again.
up. Go to our Instagram and talk shit, and YouTube and talk shit. Please, no, don't give us engagement. Stop, I hate it.
Please don't tell me I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got a bunch of cool shows here. We got Failure to Stop, which is an instant hit with Mike the Cop and Eric Tanzi.
Yes.
Download that now, and then we've got the Giggle Boys who just started Saturday nights with us,
I love those. Guys.
and it's,
I like software
they're the
history
best.
more, but those
Well,
guys are-
I'm just saying, as far as out of control, like those guys are hilarious. Everybody, you guys were the ones that asked for them, and I said yes, absolutely, we'll get them on board, and then we're talking to another show right now. So yeah, a lot of dope shit coming. Because let's face it, you're not watching HBO, brother. $4 million for the season finale of Mayor of Nottingham, or what is it, Easttown?
It's Mayor of DelCo.
Yeah, Mayor of
Why
DelCo.
wasn't it called Mayor of DelCo?
I don't know. That's a better
would have
name.
fucking gotten me in.
That's a better name.
It just seems so like, meh. I just didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know what Easttown was.
Yeah.
I think that was my hesitation. I thought it was like a witch thing. Maybe it had to do with witchcraft. Dead serious.
Dude, Mayor of DelCo.
Mayor of DelCo is like, oh shit. All right, cool.
Well, but we already have one, and he's
Yeah.
in the studio.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. Thanks for tuning in, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a review. That is what keeps you in the charts on iTunes. That is it. I was listening to Dave Portnoy talk about the war that's coming up with Spotify and iTunes. He's
told you about
no, but he's saying that people are going to have to choose one or the other soon.
I already told you that.
I understand.
Okay.
But when he's saying it,
Oh yeah. No, I know.
he
'Cause he's a
gets-
man. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you are not.
Yep.
You are a little baby woman, and you don't know what you're talking about, Jessie. But when a man says it, then it's correct.
Then you
no,
believe
with Portnoy though, like people are trying to pick off talent left and right. He's trying to get new talent. So he's really in on the shit where it's just like, oh, all right, cool. Like we're not trying to pick off people of that level that he's dealing with. So he knows a lot more than we do, and they're right. And then again, I
Feels
think
like he knows the same as I do.
probably not, because you're a woman, obviously. So the Facebook thing is starting soon. I want to say it was either today or tomorrow too. Where if you do listen to shit on Facebook, your RSS feed will now be on Facebook either today or tomorrow for Ross Patterson Revolution. I know that. All the episodes. So have fun, kids. Weird world we're getting into, though, but I like it. I like it a lot. You're going to like the way you look, I guarantee it. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Revolution. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.